My life seemed to be a series of events and accidents. And yet, when I look back, I see a pattern. Benoit Mandelbrot said that. He was a mathematician who discovered fractals. Patterns emerge out of every corner of life. The internet and computers are a series of patterns of zeros and ones. The human body is a pattern of A's, C's, T's, and G's in DNA. Astronomers study patterns of stars. Scientists study patterns in nature. Philosophers study patterns of ideas. To be a good artist, you have to become a magician of patterns. Art is about making something from nothing. It's kind of like magic. Sometimes you can only see the pattern later. But it almost can't even happen unless you listen to the voice inside yourself. Essentially, you are moving an idea from a seed in the mind to becoming a tree. And as the tree extends out, others can see it too. I'm going to tell you a tale of 2 Thanksgivings. See if we can find the pattern. My grandfather was a kind of crazy man. Thanksgiving was one of his favorite holidays. We are big on traditions in my family. They are very sacred. One of the most sacred traditions when I was growing up involves something that started out as caroling, but what really happened is we would all put on elaborate costumes, scarves, hats, gloves, and then we took instruments out of the music room, which were all hung on hooks all over the walls. Horns, tubas, trumpets, tambourines, kazoos, drums of all kinds. And about 40 people, we would go out into the street in Long Beach in the dark, usually in the snow, and we would sing and play instruments and basically have a parade down to the beach. When you do things when you're small, you don't understand that they're strange. I didn't realize until later that not everyone has a costume party on Thanksgiving. We called this event the Walk. There's a unique set of circumstances that came about to create you. Only you have had every single experience that led you here. That means that only you can offer the perspective or the viewpoint through your eyes of the world. That is the intrinsic value of your life. It is liberating, and it is also a responsibility. Your beliefs become your decisions, and your decisions become your life. It can be tempting to let others influence your decisions or your beliefs. While it's always good to listen to others to obtain information or for communication, that voice that is uniquely you ultimately decides. I believe that we come here with a purpose, a mission. If only you have this unique set of circumstances that made you, if the lens that you perceive through reality is your vision, then it is probably best to practice your beliefs that influence your decisions from the inside out. Art is about seeing things. In art class, we talk about making the unseen seen. The lens of your mind is the only way you can really make art or perceive reality. We are supposed to choose for this talk scholarship, faith, character. Scholarship are the intellectual tools that you assemble in your toolkit to help you develop character by enacting the faith energy and the use of your own voice. Faith that even if you don't understand, if you can continue to self-actualize, believing that your actions are leading to an outcome even when it doesn't make sense. It's important to examine your beliefs because they become your reality. In the sacred ritual of Thanksgiving, we did what many other Americans do, eat turkey. The turkey is the traditional main event, the symbol of plenty. It is rumored that Da Vinci was a vegetarian in the 1500s. It was very challenging when I told my family I was becoming a vegetarian 18 years ago on Thanksgiving Day. It was a time, especially in Indiana, where vegetarianism was an extremely foreign concept. These days, not eating meat is no big deal. Mr. Hale makes special meals because there are so many of us. But when I told my family that I wasn't going to eat meat anymore and that I wasn't going to eat the Thanksgiving turkey, they thought I was insane. My mom burst into tears and thought I was going to starve to death. Nobody likes to make their mother cry, especially on holidays, right? So I thought, well, maybe I should just eat the turkey and forget about it, right? But now, was she so afraid of what I was eating or not eating? I mean, does it really have anything to do with her? Not really, right? The idea of me becoming a vegetarian was challenging to her beliefs about the world. So in addition to permanently giving up my satisfying order at Redimax of a cheeseburger with everything, I had to deal with the challenge of upsetting my family. I knew this was something I needed to do, and to be honest, I'm not even sure why. So I took it in the chin, and I thought, if I'm having this much trouble and pushback with this very small decision that ultimately is only affecting me in Indiana in the 1900s, imagine Da Vinci in Europe in the 1500s. I bet his mother cried too. It's hard to be comfortable in your own skin, whether you're an artist or not. It's hard to make a decision that other people around you don't like, even if you know it's best. The first time I set foot in New Orleans, I knew I was going to live there someday. People say this when they visit places they like, and often never end up living there. As soon as I graduated from college, I moved there. I had all of these romantic ideas and visions of being an artist living in New Orleans. New Orleans is a crazy place. I woke up one morning, I got on my bike to go to work, rounded the side of my house, and there was a funnel cake stand in the lawn of my own house. I lived in a very residential, normal street filled with normal houses all around me. I thought, what is going on? So on this random morning in February, when I woke up in my new apartment, got ready for work, walked downstairs, got on my bike, rode to the front of the house, and the funnel cake stand was there in my yard. I looked down the street, and there were people in costumes, playing instruments and walking down the street and marching and singing. Parading in New Orleans is a way of life. No one is safe from it. You are on your way to the gas station to fill up. You stop at a stop sign. A parade of a few thousand people just walk in front of your car dressed in outlandish costumes. In New Orleans, they call this cultural experience of a parade a second line. They have second lines for almost any reason at all. Sometimes in celebration, sometimes for a funeral. People move into the street together and assemble with live music, usually a band, and they play songs that everyone knows and sings along. Often umbrellas are used for the traditional dance. People wear costumes, bang tambourines, sing together, parade, huge groups. So I found an entire city that dresses up in costumes, plays instruments, and parades around. My grandfather never went to New Orleans, but somehow he had this inside of him. The societal pressures to conform are real and serious. They've been in place for a long time. Some of that is healthy for society and individuals, and some of it isn't. Many people thought I was crazy to move to a city where I knew no one and had no ties there. I had plenty of sound job opportunities where I had plenty of friends in Chicago. The decisions you make impact the world around you. If Da Vinci hadn't listened to his own crazy ideas, we might not have helicopters. My mom has recently been dealing with an increasing struggle with arthritis and has developed a mostly vegan diet. She juices every day and has given up dairy soda in the drive-thru. If you would have told me that day, standing at the table, staring down at the turkey through weepy eyes, I would seriously have never believed you. I have to believe that my small decision about giving up meat may have planted a seed in her mind that maybe had something to do with her being open to a diet that she might never have considered otherwise, that's actually really helping her life. I moved to New Orleans to follow art and to learn new traditions. I ended up living with and celebrating regularly one of the oldest ones in my life. Some traditions are important to keep, like parading. Some are important to let go, to make room for new unknowns. One of the older, Steven Spielberg said that he always listens to his intuition, but that you have to listen carefully because it never shouts, it whispers. Your mind is a giant computer that generates 3D images that become your 3D printed life. Art is the microscope with which an artist fixes on the secrets of his soul and shows people these secrets which are common to all. Every day we communicate. We develop the scholarship or tools to bring an idea into reality. During this building process, the construction of your life, you develop the character you become. Following your own voice, even though it's sometimes difficult and confusing in the moment, has benefits in the future that you can only understand later. This is the faith. We talk in art class about content and media, the relationship between the two. The media is the material, the tactile thing, the video, the painting, the drawing, the sculpture. The content is the why. What is this about? The meaning, the purpose. What are you trying to communicate? This chapel talk is my media. It's the tool. The content is me. This is the character in the story. The faith is the energy, the juice, the thing that moves something from here to there. The thing that moves the seed to the tree. This project or chapel talk is coming to an end. Your beliefs make your decisions. What do you believe? Consider the structure of your belief. One of my beliefs is that in the world of limitations and infinite possibilities, both external and in the mind, art is a powerful force. And like all powerful forces, it can be used to create or destroy. I believe that art can change the world. And so we head back to the art room to make some things, to make the unseen seen. I didn't know I followed my vision and moved to New Orleans because I was following my grandfather's parade. I only saw that connection much later. The pattern of my life was weaving a story. Every day we process up here to the FAB, and we process back down. And every day, to me, it looks like a second line without music. So today, we will have a second line with music. And until I get my next directive from the inside out, I plan on starting my new project right after I finish talking. So we're in the second line out of the FAB, y'all. It's another day. It's time to make some art. It's another day back in the studio, y'all.